Good morning. Finally, we're gonna wrap up the ethics in Greek philosophy, and the last part is the Epicurus. I didn't touch the Epicurus or Epicurean last week a little bit, but I want to just finish this and the rest of it in maybe in 10 minutes, and we're gonna just move on to the Christ, the reality, and you know what Christians are supposed to think and do. Okay, this is Epicurus and peace of mind. As I mentioned last week, Epicurean or Epicurus group, they are not only focusing on the pleasure, but their pleasure is kind of deep, way deeper than what we normally think. Because we usually think that Epicurus or Epicurean were thinking that they are pursuing only pleasure, like physical pleasure or something like that. But that is a totally misunderstanding, because think about this. There is one group of philosophy, and if they were focusing on only pleasure, how that group can be a part of a philosophy. So we're gonna just touch, not deeply, but we're gonna just touch the basic things about Epicureans. That's about the peace of mind, actually. It's not about physical pleasure or joy. So that is for peace of mind. Epicurus was born 341 and died 270 BC. That is the apostle of common sense. Common sense is quite important in these days, because we are losing common sense, and our common sense can be very distorted, and it's kind of crooked a little bit, and then we are losing lots of common sense. Recently in Korea, there is a church, and the pastor, I don't know what kind of church and pastor he is, because he just pushed the people to train in his way, not Jesus' way, not Christian way, not biblical way, but his way. So he pushed the people to train, to get training. So part of the training is just he just pushed some people, the leaders group, to eat their waste. The waste, eat their own waste. What is that? Why we need that for training? Why we need that kind of terrible thing for growing up as Christ? It's not acceptable. It's not common sense. But people just follow the pastor, and then once they join to the training course, they used to eat their waste. What is that? It's way below than common sense, and it's not biblical thinking. So common sense is common sense. Once you hear that, you can know, and everybody can know that is out of common sense. Well, Jesus didn't eat. I'm pretty sure Jesus didn't eat his waste at all, right? What is that? So churches and pastors are losing their common sense. and they are thinking that is part of the Bible, or I don't know. That's really bad, right? But Epicurus was an apostle of common sense. So on the basis of it, he was pursuing the peace of mind. Okay. So all knowledge arises from our sense. That is kind of a different way what Socrates and Plato said. Because especially Plato said, I did mention that last week and or 2 weeks ago. Plato was pursuing idea world. That's where the good stays. So, but we can get knowledge and kind of ultimate goodness from idea world. Okay, idea world. But Epicurus thinks all knowledges and all good stuff is coming from our sense. Okay. I mean, that is a little bit, more respecting human beings, because we have all kinds of sense, at least 5 senses, and then those senses is not. It can be wrong. It can be wrong, right? Because when we just hold hot water pipe and cold water pipe, we are supposed to feel cold when we touch the cold water pipe, and we're gonna feel hot when we touch a hot water pipe. But when we touch both pipes, cold and hot, what we're gonna feel? We're gonna feel both hot, or hot and cold, or hot only, or cold only. You wanna try that? That is a very simple experiment. So when we touch actually cold and hot, we're gonna feel hot and hot. So our sense can be confused, depends on the situations, but basically we have good sense, we have wonderful sense actually, because the most advanced cameras cannot catch up with the power and ability and functions what our eyes have. Okay, so senses are quite important for Epicurus, and that's the foundation we can decide, what is peace and what is uncomfortableness and something like that. Okay. The life of sense sage he found a school in Athens located in secluded garden. So in Athens, he just found that school. He found that school. Well, Aristotle and especially Plato and Socrates, even they formed their own school, whether they had their own name on it or not, but they had their own schools. But Epicurus found a school in a secluded garden. That means he wanted to focus on the senses we have. So because when we have too many sounds, different sounds from all over the places, and touchings, or we can, our eyes and ears and tongues can be mixed with all kinds of things in when we live in the middle of the city or something. Even though Athens must be way less crowded than LA or New York or some other places, but we can guess that he wanted to focus on the senses we have. That's why he just found his school in the secluded garden. That's well, if he wanted to make money, he wanted to found his school in the middle of the Athens, but that's why. So that means how much he focused on our senses. And foundation viewpoint from Democritus and Aristippus developed an ethic that espouses the serenity of peace of mind or peace of mind. So, lots of advanced hospitals located in rural area rather than urban area. Well, there are lots of hospitals in the cities, but if they want to recover, from their disease for long-term wise, they usually go to the hospitals or specific or special hospitals or the place they can recover from their disease or sickness. They usually go to rural areas, and that means we can get peace of mind from the nature, from the trees, rivers, mountains, rather than high-rise buildings and lots of traffics and lots of smoke. When you pass by LA area, you can see how much smoke there. Smoke is staying there. It's covering the whole city, right? So, and that is for peace of mind too, because our mind and body and soul, they are connected. They are linked together. So we cannot say separately, those. So each, mind, soul, and body, those are all connected. So when we go when we see psychiatrists or counselors, they usually say, just keep your mind peaceful or release your stress or something like that. Then in that way we can just recover from our body sickness, physical sickness, and because that is all connected. That's also called the psychosomatic. Soma means body. Okay, that's our mind. Let's say mind. So that's psychosomatic problems we have. That's a lot. Okay, so if you can just mention or talk about the stress, I think you can be half doctors because most doctors are saying just relax and let your stress go. It's very hard, but they have to say that because our mind is connected with our body, psychosomatic. Well, and then nowadays people are adding on top of it, that's a socio. That's a socio-psychosomatic problems. Because our body can get problem when we have a social problem, when we have a mind problem, we can get sick. For example, we can get a stomach ache when our friends buy luxury cars and luxury house, or when they got promoted. We can compare, ourselves and with others, our friends, and then that's a social problem, right? And then we can get a stomach ache, right? No one can deny that, because we can get stomach problem because we eat something wrong. Then that can affect to our mind. When you have stomach ache, can you be peaceful in your mind? No, not at all, right? When you are in hospitalized, you're gonna get hospital depression, right? That's also called hospital depression. No one wants to lie on a bed in hospitals, right? So, but most patients, because especially long-term patients, not only long-term patients, all patients got certain level of depressions. That's also called the hospital depressions. Because you are sick, you feel bad, right? No one can feel good when they got sick, right? Oh, I got cancer. No one can say that. Finally, I can get cancer, the popular thing in this world. No. Finally, I got a car accident, I just broke my arms. No one can be happy with that, right? So once you got in hospital or hospitalized, you're gonna get hospital depression. And that can be happened when you got in, the seniors got in kind of nursing homes, because actually most of them were waiting for their, the kind of until they die. Okay, that's the semi-tomb, so-called. Okay, so somatic is related with our mind, but at the same time, when we have a bad relationship with our families and friends and co-workers, we're gonna get sick, we're gonna get depressed a lot, and we can get kind of physical problems too, right? Digestive problems, or we can have headaches, we can have backaches because we are under big stresses. We can get backache too, because those are related, because our body can get stiff. When we relax, when we peaceful, our body can be more flexible. Because once you got stressed, for example, when you see robberies or thieves or bad people or gangsters in front of you, your body gonna get stiff. Okay, sometimes you cannot walk away or run away from there, because your body got stressed and your body got stiff, way stiffer than the normal situations. So nowadays, lots of doctors are saying socio-psychosomatic problems, okay? Those are all connected. So Epicurus was focusing on peace of mind, so he can get peace, physical peace and social peace and soul, spiritual peace too. Okay. So sometimes lots of people are recommending people that to have kind of a quiet place in your home, at least one little small space that is open, whether that is opened or not, you want to have a small space so you can focus on yourself, and you can think, and you can write, you can pray, or you can sing, you can do what you like most. A friend of mine is living in near Philadelphia, and she actually draws pictures, and like oil painting or water painting. You know what? She couldn't find any other place to set up her drawing place. She just set up a little tiny like little tiny place to draw, okay, to paint. Right beside, actually that is in the kitchen area, but that is close to the windows. So she cooks there. She takes care of our kids, her kids, not our kids, but her kids. But at the same time, once she finishes her, regular work, and then she just put her easel, and then she paints over there, facing toward the windows or outside, which has lots of big trees there, or something like that. That is very important for serenity, and then she can have, just release her stresses, lots of stresses from many other things or people, which is great. I stayed a week in Vancouver, Canada, because it happened kind of something funny. Because I and my wife stopped by a Blockbuster. There was Blockbusters, guys. We don't have Blockbusters anymore because we have Netflix or internet. But at the time, like 20 years ago, there are lots of Blockbusters in all towns, right? And I and my wife stopped by, the Blockbusters for renting videotapes we can watch, and then the staff, the guys just was so nice, and we did talk this and that, and finally I just told him that we are looking for a room we can live, we can stay for a week, and he just happily gave his room for me. So, but that house was huge. I don't know how many rooms they have. I think more than 5. That's a big house, and it has a basement, half a basement, and we could stay in the room for a week. The half a basement is kind of a family room. It's huge family room. It has all kinds of audio systems and TV systems, video systems. But the one thing impressed was they have special sunroom for prayer and worshiping together. Because they were Catholics, and they put the statue of Mary and cross and Bibles. They didn't put all kinds of things in there, but only Mary's statue and cross and Bible, which was very impressive and very peaceful. That is the best place I ever seen in houses. Something like that. So we need kind of a quiet time or serene place we can release our stresses, or we can talk with God. We trust and believe, and we can read God's words or something, or we can maybe sleep, take a nap there in a peaceful and quiet place. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. That's what the Epicures want you to find: peace of mind. Peace of mind. Beyond austere hedonism, Aristippus, he was an Epicurean. He said human nature avoid pain and seek what will give pleasure. Right. We don't want to get any pain, right? So we have a human nature that is avoiding pains, but pursuing the pleasure, peace of mind. That's true. That's true. That's true. No one can deny that, right? That's our human nature. So what's the virtue? What's the virtue? The capacity to choose the right pleasure. What kind of pleasure we want to pursue? What kind of pleasure we want to take? So I can get pleasure by torturing others, or I can choose, I can have a pleasure by helping others. What kind of a pleasure I want to take? Definitely, I want to just choose, that I can have peace by helping others. Right? There is great joy from helping others, supporting others. Once you give $1 bill to homeless or any random people who need, we can find many that kind of people in this, time and generations, and especially in the Skidrow, LA, there are more than 50,000 homeless people, right? Lots of people and churches and organizations and cities, they are busy to feeding them because they are starving to death. Because there are lots of problems. So the city built shelters in many places, but that is quite short for 50,000 homeless people. But once you help others, you're gonna feel great joy from them. Okay? So the virtue, we are pursuing pleasure rather than pain. Or what kind of pleasure we can take? Sometimes we can take a pain for getting greater pleasure also, because police officers and firefighters and soldiers, they are sacrificing their lives for helping others. It can be painful. Right? But they are having great pleasures from helping others, even though they can get pains and fears and dangers. So that's the virtue. What kind of a pleasure we want to take? That's the crucial thing for Epicurus. See, that is quite different with what normal people are thinking about Epicureans. So focus on mental life. Well, some people are focusing on physical life so that they can peace of mind, by work. They can get peace of mind by working, by sweating. Yeah. But he was focusing on the mental life. So his pleasure is satisfaction from the appetites. Epithelius, and I mean, that's our lips, right? It's epithelium. It's, well, as I mentioned, the crazy pastor just pushes some church leaders to eat their waste, but no one can say they were happy to eat their waste. That's terrible. When I smell it, oh man, jeez. I hate those kind of pastors in churches. And I hate those people who are following that kind of crazy things without thinking and without claiming anything to that kind of wrong teachings and trainings. Appetite. Do you think that is wrong? I think that is right. We want to eat something great, right? Something good, something sweet, something kind of soft. I was told that when we were fetus in our mother's womb, what is the first part to, what's the first part developed in mother's womb? That's our teeth and mouths and lips, which means we have to eat. Yes, we have to eat, and we eat and we feel great joy by eating something, right? Well, so eating is great joy. That's great joy. So there are lots of restaurants and some restaurant ranking magazines like Michelin Guide, even though they cook and they just take advantage from restaurants who which wanted to have top ranking on the Michelin Guide or something for the 1 star or 2 stars. Well, some restaurants they contact with Michelin Guide. That's behind the story, but Michelin Guide wanted to take money for giving them 1 star or 2 stars, or putting their restaurant names on the list or on their Michelin Guide book. That's crazy. That's making money, right? Making money is great, but that is not right. Right? It's very opinionated. Well, we have all kinds of opinions, and we have kind of opinionated. Actually, I'm opinionated in many things, but that's business. That's not ranking. So I don't trust Michelin Guide at all. And I can't afford to it. I don't want to just spend $50, $100, $200 for a meal. Well, if somebody want to buy me, it's okay. I can go, but I want to spend that much money for eating for a meal? Yeah, no way. And on top of it, I don't trust the Michelin Guide or something. I trust people's opinions, like Yelps or Google's or something like that. Even though they got paid for posting their opinions or views or clicking views or something. But anyway, that is kind of wrong thing. But appetite, that is not bad. That is actually natural. Okay. Duration of the happiness is more important than the intensity of the happiness. That's wonderful. So you're gonna get $1,000 at once, or you're gonna get $100 for 10 months. But it depends on your situations. We can be more happy for 1,000 lump sum gift for a day, for a month, but actually the duration of the happiness is more important than the intensity. So this is very popular truth actually. If you have wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or kids, you're gonna just give to them just 100 roses one day, or one rose for 100 days. You're gonna see right away, okay? Please compare that, and just listen from your girlfriends or boyfriends, husbands and wives, and think about it. And they're not gonna be that happy when they got a rose compared to 100 roses. But you give your love one rose per day for 100 days. That can be great things, because they know how much money and efforts you can show to your lovers. That's something like that, okay? Well, what about the removal of pain is greater than stimulation of the sense pleasure? Well, so you wanna eat, you wanna eat an ice cream, a cup of ice cream you like most, or you wanna avoid eating raw onion, for example, one whole onion. That's gonna be very, very hot, right? And you're gonna just you're gonna cry actually. I don't think that I can eat one whole onion, the raw one. I don't think I can do it. But what do you wanna pick? What do you wanna choose? You wanna eat a soft ice cream, or you wanna avoid eating an onion, okay? Which one you wanna choose? For me, I don't care about the ice cream, but I don't wanna eat the onion, okay? I don't wanna eat onion, okay? So that is, I mean, you eat an ice cream and you eat onion, or you don't eat ice cream, you don't eat onion. I'd rather I don't eat any of them, okay? Rather than eating ice cream and onion at the same time or something like that. So we want to avoid our pain rather than getting pleasures. So that is natural, okay? So avoiding pain is important in Epicureans for peace of mind. So what about the radical materialism? Democritus is one of the Epicureans. The universe consisted of uncreated, indestructible bits of matter, or matter, like atoms, even the gods. So they neither reward nor punish humans. We don't need to afraid of God. That is kind of radical, because for avoiding the pains and happiness, democratic universe consisted of uncreated, indestructible bits of matter. But what about the Epicurus? True knowledge of the world can dispel human fears. So we can have lots of fears, but if you know it, you're gonna have less fear than if you don't know about it. Okay. Well, dogs are barking on strangers. Yeah. The same thing. So when we see strangers, we have more fear than we face kind of wrong or bad people or gangsters against us. So strangers, because we don't know them, we have more fear. But gangsters, we know that they are gangsters. We have a fear too, right? I have a fear to gangsters because they have guns or knives. But I can have more fear if I don't know the person, because I don't know what the person gonna do to me, right? Something like that. We have fear about coronavirus nowadays, and our country, USA, has more than 1 million people who got coronavirus already. But until we don't know about the coronavirus exactly, we had more fear. Okay, but now we know pretty much about the coronavirus. So because we know it, we are wearing masks on the streets or in the markets. Because we know if we wear masks, we're gonna just reduce huge amount of chances to get coronavirus. So the more you know about something, the less you're gonna get fears. Okay? So knowing something right can be way better to you to reduce your fear. So when you drive first, you have lots of fear because you don't know what's going on the streets, and you don't know what's going on in your cars. Recently, actually last week, this week, I just replaced the water pump because I didn't know what kind of a big noise in my engine, in the car engine room. So I just wondered, because I replaced the water pump, I think 3 or 4 years ago. There is kind of a very low chance to see the water pump got shot. The bearing got shot usually, and it makes the pulley wiggle, and that produces lots of noise, metal clicking or metal noise, something like that. So I didn't know. But that is actually gradually, it's getting louder gradually. So I didn't notice that, but one day I noticed that it's too loud. But I was kind of lazy for many days or many months, so I didn't take care of that. But finally, I just found that my water pump got shot. So I just replaced it, and man, there is huge difference. It was very loud, but I was get used to it. But I didn't know that is that loud until I fixed it. So I replaced the water pump for 2 or 3 hours. Because I'm not a mechanic at all, so I'm not just a DIYer. So when I work on my car, I just work slowly. So I want to just make sure everything's alright. Or I'm gonna just lose the car. I can lose my life on the street. So I'm very cautious on it because I'm not professional mechanics. So I just studied a lot, and I just replaced the water pump. But mechanics, the professionals, they know what's going on in the car, so they don't have a fear. But the regular people, they don't know about the car, and they have a fear. I have a fear too, right? So Epicureans are saying that if you know it why, you can reduce huge amount of fear about it. And that is true. That is true. Well, we have lots of social problems. Well, the good thing is that we have a social distance, so maybe we can get less stressed than before. But we have cell phones and SNS, so I don't know what's going on. So all are different. It depends on what kind of situations they are in. But anyway, if you have to work with the person you hate, it's going to be very unlucky for you. But if you know the person right, if you don't know the person, you can blame yourself. You can blame the person. You can blame the company or something like that. But if you know that person right, and if you understand the person is so bad, doing so bad, and spreading dirty words on you and other people, and then you can understand what kind of person he or she is, and then the more you understand the person, you can take it. Oh, okay. Well, you listen to the person in this year, and you're gonna lose. You let it go. From other year you have. So that's what it is, right? That's what it is. So you have to know it right. So death, the most dreaded of evils, is therefore of no concern to us. For why we exist, death is not present, and when death is present, we no longer exist. Well, we feel that is right? That is wonderful. We all have fear on death. So we don't know when we're gonna die. That's why we have insurances. We buy insurance. We pay every month for securing our family's safety, for securing our children's future. So we have insurance. Why we buy insurance? Because we fear, right? We can by purchasing insurances, we can reduce our fear level. Okay. Well, I can die today, or one day, or someday, or suddenly, or I can get cancer, or I can get many other things, or coronavirus, I can die, but my families can be okay. Well, losing me can be big damage and big loss for my families, but they can at least they can secure their finances, and then something like that. So we are buying insurance, and we fear that. So we buy what is that? Living trust, and we write wills. And I think all people gonna cry when they write their wills. So we fear that. We fear that. That's the most dreaded of it, right? So that's whenever we think about our death, we're gonna be very emotional, right? But Epicureans, excuse me, especially Democritus, are saying that, well, death is most fearful thing, but while we are living in this world, we are not died yet, so we don't have to worry about our death. It's not come yet, but when it comes and when we die, we don't need this. We don't feel anything. So, well, that is quite different story when you think about your families and your lovers. But for myself, when I'm living right now, right? I'm living and I'm moving and I'm breathing and I'm thinking. So I'm existing. I'm okay right now. And then when I die, I don't feel and think anything. So it'll be okay for me. Okay? It's okay for me. It's going to be better for our families, but it's going to be okay for me. Right? Then, because we understand this, then we can have a peace of mind. Okay, I'm going to just do my best as long as I live. Right? Right? Lots of people are worried about our future, and we got worried about what we're gonna do and how we're gonna live and how we're gonna survive financially. How we can buy our food and something like that. Well, we have to get ready for it. Okay, we can get ready for it, but at the same time, we don't have to too much focus on our death. Because we don't know when it comes. Okay? Because we don't know when it comes, we got under big stress. Because we got more stress when something happens suddenly. Okay? Anyway, that is a great point. We can have peace of mind. Right? That is all about the Greek philosophy, ethics in Greek philosophy, and then we're gonna move on the Christ, reality, and good. Christ, reality, and good, or Christians. The concept of reality. How can I be good? Good is this. It's not only about the Plato's good, but in general, good, or sun in Korean, or Chinese Catechism. I don't know how to pronounce that in Chinese, but it is sun in Korean, the pronunciation. We call this sun, or good, okay? The reality is this. We can think and imagine many things, but what the reality is? How can I be good? Good is good, right? Good is good, bad is bad. But how can I be good? That's the reality. We know the 10 Commandments given by God to Moses to all Christians, not only to Israelites, but the 10 Commandments is for all Christians, I think, because those are very simple and it covers pretty much most everything. And that is the 10 Commandments given by God. But we know those 10 Commandments are great, but how can I be good? How can I follow that? I know what is good. Helping others, worshiping God, okay? Eat good food for your body, and take a good rest for your body and for the next day. But what about how can I be good? How can I be a good person? How can I do good? How can I do good? Lots of people are saying that we are not supposed to give money to homeless because they're gonna buy drugs. Or they're gonna buy gas, butane gas they can inhale and go crazy. Or they can buy cigarettes. Or they can buy something wrong. Okay? So it's better buy food and distribute that to homeless people, maybe way better to them. Or buy clothes or blankets or sleeping bags or tents or something like that. Well, I don't know. They need money too. Because they want to buy some gums, chewing gums, and chew and take a time. But they can buy hairpins. They can buy, food they want to eat. Not food, given by people. Others choose you to eat. Or you want to choose what you want to eat. That is a big difference. Okay? So, how can I do good? Or what is the will of God? Lots of Christians are saying, I want to do what you want. That's what Jesus said. On the Gethsemane, Jesus prayed, on the day right before he got arrested by people, and then he just prayed hard on Gethsemane to God. And he just opened his mind and he just, said everything, talked to God, everything, what he feels, what he thinks, what he wants. But the last word of his prayer must be, your will be done. Your will be done. I'm going to just follow your will. That was great prayer. When we had a look, take a look at the Psalms, and we can see how David prayed and how others prayed to God. They don't say, I'm gonna follow your will be done on me, whatever it is. They didn't say that at first. They especially David, used to talk to God everything he feels and thinks. And he just explained all the situations that he's facing to. And when I read some, Psalms written by David, sometimes I laugh because he was a very weak person. He killed Goliath, but he was a weak person like me, right? And then I was kind of feeling shame that's kind of a shame on David because he's just talking too much details and little things. He prayed on little things and he just asked revenge and many things to God, right? But he wanted to examine himself while he was praying. That was a great thing. And he wanted to talk everything to God. That was a great thing too. And he almost always, he almost always talked to God that, God will be done, David, in his life. And he was so submissive, so he prayed, he talks everything, but he finally says, he's gonna follow you. That's great part. So what is the will of God? That's all Christians ask. That's great questions. Whenever we ask that question, we can be different. We can be different, but we don't ask that often. Especially if we want what we really want, we don't pray. Because we know God's answer can be different what we think. Okay? So in that point, and in that kind of situations, we don't pray a lot. We don't pray a lot because we don't want to change our plan, and we don't want to change our think. So we don't pray because we don't like God answers me something different with what we think. It's kind of something. But that's what it is. But all Christians are asking, what is God's will? What is God's will? The point of departure for Christian ethics, that's the point. What is the point of for Christian ethics? God as ultimate reality. He shows forth, manifests, and reveals himself, God in Jesus Christ. So that's the starting point of Christian ethics. What is that? God shows everything. And God shows everything through the life of Jesus. So he's the example. Well, the example is too high, is not unreachable. Well, some of them, I can't die on the cross because I fear the nailing on my, hands and legs. Oh my goodness, I don't want to just be naked and hang on the cross for many hours. No, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die sooner than Jesus, I think, or any other people. I'm gonna die soon. But Jesus showed what we are supposed to do, what we are supposed to talk, what we are supposed to do in our lives. That's real. That's not ideal. Well, that's ideal, but that's real too. That's ritual. We can try, and we can reach that point little by little, right? So once we become Christians or church members, we are not saints. We are saints because we are part of the kingdom of God, but our characters is not perfect when I become regeneration. When I get regeneration, I'm not perfect yet, okay? I'm God's children, so I'm saved, I'm okay. But my life, my way of thinking, my mind have to be molded by God. I have to work with God for becoming a better person. That's the starting point of Christian ethics. God, not evaluation. Good, not evaluation. Good, the real itself. That means good, the real itself. For Plato, the good is ideal. And we have to bring that bring that in our real life and realize it, okay? Actualize it, right? But we can say this is good or this is bad, okay? But it is more real in our lives. It's not for judging. Well, we can judge this is good, this is bad, but good itself is not for evaluation, but that is our real life. I mean, the wish to be good, the longing for what is real in God. Okay? So we have to have good wish. Good wish. So you wanna be a good mechanic, good teacher, good merchant, or good staff, good worker, blue color or white color or whatever. So we want to just set good wish, and that has to be real. Okay. So when we said, okay, this is good, and there must be not only what I want, actually there must be what God wants. So what kind of a mechanic you want to be? I want to be a good mechanic. So you want to be skillful, you want to learn, and you want to train yourself, and you want to be institute. There are lots of video clips to show that mechanics is just to tell a lie, and they sometimes replace the oil filter, but they don't replace the oil filter. They say they changed the cabin air filter, but they didn't change it. They charge it. So what kind of mechanics do you want? I want to be good mechanic. That must be matched with what God wants. God doesn't want me to be a liar, wrong mechanics, no knowledge, no skills to fix others' cars, so they can, so make them dangerous more. God doesn't want me to do it, right? So when I am longing for, God's will, when I just make a picture, the mechanic God wants, then my wish can be good. Okay, I want to be a rich person. That's good. That's a great goal. You don't want to be poor. You want to make lots of money. That's a good goal. That's a wonderful goal. But what are you going to do? And how you can be rich. So that is the reality. And if you don't longing for God's will, the rich people God wants, we can be crooked. I want to be rich so I can have lots of servants. Well, I can have some servants, but I don't call them servants, but just, house managers or something like that. Kitchen, staff, kitchen staff. If I'm quite rich, I can have a kitchen staff. Why not? I can have cleaners, and I can have chauffeurs. Not only one, maybe 2, 3 for my families. What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong. What's wrong with that? By hiring them, they can make money from me. So nothing wrong with that. I can live in a huge manner. What's wrong with that? No problem at all. As long as I make money and and I can use the money I earn in a right way. If that is God wants me to do and be, it's okay. No problem. No problem. So that's the real. That's the real. The good tree that brings forth good fruit. That's true. That's what Matthew chapter 7 says. Right? Good people do good stuff. Bad people do bad stuff. Good people speak good stuff. Bad people speak bad stuff. That's what God says. That's what Jesus said, actually. The two together are to be understood as a single unit. Okay? Good tree and good fruit. You are bad mechanics, so cheating people, and you make money. It's not matched. It's not matched. Okay? So cheating mechanic to be a prisoner, that's quite matched. Okay? Good president, good respect from people, very matched. Bad president, bad reputation, good match. But bad president, good reputation, that's not matched. That's not matched. Good president, bad reputation, that's not matched. It's not matched. Okay? So only good trees, only good people can produce good fruits, good things. And they're going to get lots of compliments from people. Oh, this is delicious fruit, delicious orange, delicious apple. The person is great. A nurse who got coronavirus when she was working for coronavirus patients. After hundreds of hours serving coronavirus patients, she got coronavirus and she's spending a hard time right now in Korea. People are just praying for her because she was good. She made great fruit, but she got in trouble. We respect the nurse. Behold, it is very good. That's what God said in Genesis chapter 1. The whole creation was good. Because God is good, He produced all good stuff when He created the world. And He's producing all kinds of good stuff. But people are making bad stuff because we are crooked, because we are sinners, because we have wrong ideas, because we are greedy, because we are selfish. Okay? And our ethics and our virtues are not good enough, so we are making something wrong a lot in our daily lives, not only on big things but small things too. That's kind of ouch. B, thinking in terms of two spheres, a conflict of two spheres: divine, holy, supernatural, Christian; worldly, profane, natural, unchristian. Okay? I mean, we can understand the divine, holy, worldly, profane. But what about the supernatural and natural? Do Christians we have to, the Christians have to be Superman, or no, that's not something like that. Supernatural means natural. Natural is already, the world is already crooked and distorted and failed. So natural is something wrong right now. So we need to be supernatural. Supernatural means we have to be saints in this world. Yeah, because our general world in this world is all failed, and lots of people are doing something wrong. So people are saying that it's natural. You are wrong. I can be wrong. You just kill people. I can kill people too. That is natural. What people are thinking. So we have to. Christians are supposed to be supernatural means. We have to live something differently. So holy means different. Okay? Holy means different. Different with what? Different with wrong. Different with bad. Okay, so those two spheres are conflicting. When I just watched the movie Mission, that happened, the background is in Southern America, South America, and two Catholic priests were serving a village, and their home country soldiers are invading that village. One priest was holding a cross and worshipped together with his followers, and one priest hold a gun fighting against the invaders with his followers. I think both are right. Nobody can say this is wrong, this is right. They just did their best. They don't blame each other. Okay? They don't blame each other. That means we can choose one of the good things, and those are okay as long as we don't choose wrong thing, wrong stuff. Okay, but those things are conflicting. Invaders, keepers. Those can be why they are invading others, big people, big countries, why they colonized other countries and tribes and villages and nations, because they are greedy. It is totally unchristian thing. Unchristian thing. So I couldn't believe that European countries, including the United States, invaded lots of other countries and nations. That's not Christian thing. They were wrong Christians. They were wrong Christians. They didn't pursue God's will. God's will is not killing other countries and peoples and oppressing others. That is definitely right? That is very definitely clear. There are 4 mandates. We're going to just, explain those in detail, but there are 4 mandates. The word is relative to God, and assumes concrete from certain mandates of God in the word. There are 4 mandates: labor, marriage, government, church. Okay, so we're going to just take care of that next week.